Welcome to Verbal Pig Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you all to the show. Don't forget to check out the trailer, Everyday People, on Verbal Pig Radio YouTube channel, floating through social media. I'd like to thank everyone that helped, that was involved. Terry White, actor, professional actor, appreciate his time and the energy he put into the role. So you all be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a good movie. Appreciate Muhammad 2G, the boys from the Six, David, Alex, Low Key, Gino. It's just so many people. K-Rob that contributed and helped in the making and shaping of this film. My partner Steve Hakeem, graphics. It doesn't stop, and that's one of the sponsors. Graphics, High Frequency Performance Wear, and Eaton Clothing Co. My sponsors, man, who keep me geared up. We appreciate that. Today we getting into symbolism, and it's all around us. And yes, tag, we are it. They got us good. Now for one thing though, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, you can be upset with white people because you got every reason to be. And you may say, well, why? I'd get a sip of that coffee. But you may say, why should I be upset with white people? Besides the obvious of slavery, Jim Crow, the black codes, the night riders, the lynchings, the murderers, the rape. They raped so many black women till we got all kind of colors due to that fact of the rape that took place. But don't worry. You know what I mean? Because we recognize our own, whether you lightest of the light or darkest of the dark, that melanin that runs through your body, we communicate through melanin. And so when the slave master refused to hold up to his fatherly responsibility when he raped the slave woman, it was the black man, the original man, who took that child in, cared for him, raised him. He didn't get any child support. He didn't get any help. They didn't say, okay, well, look, you taking care of this white man's child. We'll give you a day off. The original man had to go out and hunt, get the food, work, provide for the family, the woman while she was pregnant with the white man's child. Then he had to help raise it, teach it, guide it, nurture it, love it, but didn't get any thanks. So I like to say today, to the ancestors, all of those who saw that melanin and saw our ancestors in that child from the white man who raped that black woman, we thank you for keeping our families together. And we thank you for the knowledge that you taught and giving them hope, and for not abandoning the slave master's child. You brought him into your own and taught him what black was, because you knew that by him having one drop of melanin, they was going to hate him. So with that being said, we're speaking on symbologies. Before we get into symbologies though, look y'all, Google Jennifer Jeffley, Jeffley, and on these shows, if I'm not dedicating a whole show to Jennifer Jeffley, in parts of the show, I like to remind you all, go out and research, talk about it, raise hell, call your Congress people, and we'll see what we can do to get this thing rolling. We want to see her free. We want to see her come home. She has a wonderful mother, and you can look and tell through the eyes of the mother the love that she has for her child. So make sure you all get out and press. Do the full court press. Because we're tired of our youth being convicted and locked up for something that they didn't do. And so, in symbology, because I've been on this Aunt Jemima, now I done found Uncle Remus. Uncle Remus had a syrup in America. Now, he was, you know how they said the Mormons has the talisman? Or you know how you might go and some people have altars, and you go to Catholic church and they have altars and they got pictures of saints and whatnot. Well, subtly, you might not notice, but Uncle Remus was one of the biggest person that you would put on an altar, meaning that Uncle Remus syrup was representing the founding of America. And why do I say that? Because Remus and Romulus was credited with being the founders of Rome. And so you had a Remus on a syrup who was called Uncle Remus syrup. If you trace back the name Remus, it goes back to the founding of Rome, which is America is the new Rome. America's all of them. It's the new Rome, it's the new Babylon, it's the new Egypt. This is where the children of Israel are. I mean, everything is compiled. It's all right here in America. Now, Aunt Jemima, and this is a little bit of Texas history. The last person, Rosalie Hall, was the last person to play Aunt Jemima, and she was buried in Hearne, Texas. Matter of fact, her grave is she's buried in Hearne, Texas, and people go see tours to see her grave and whatnot, because she was the last black woman to play Aunt Jemima before they modernize her up, and now they just do the commercials or whatnot, or they'll find a cartoon or just the picture or the artwork to make her look modern. But Rosalie Hall was the last person to actually go on tour and beat Aunt Jemima for the Quaker brand, and she's buried in Hearne, Texas. But that symbolism, where they say that's our Aunt Jemima, we can go back to we say Shirley on What's Happening. She was playing Aunt Jemima. She's playing the deity. Nell Carter, she was playing the deity. Monique was playing the deity. The girl that's playing Precious, that plays Precious, she was playing the deity of Jemima. And once again, who was Jemima? Jemima was Job, the Job that's in the Bible. Jemima was his daughter. And Jemima means dove. And in the Bible they said she was Job's, a beautiful daughter of Job. So they brought that energy to America, and they bottled it up in syrup, but it wasn't really about the syrup. It was about the energy of the entity that it represents and that she portrays. And Jemima is an Arabic name. And once again, Job lived in a land called Uz. In America, it was Oz. And that place was the original place of the original Arabs, which was black people. who traveled. They were travelers. So we want to just get that known. But the symbology is language. It's how people communicate. You see some of these signs and like they'll have the CBSI, but really what the CBSI really is saying is talking about that the programming of CBS, that eye, or when you see any of what they call a third eye, or which represents the pineal gland. Now, when they say Illuminati, they're saying something different than what we, as the originators of it, is saying. We're saying that the pineal gland gives you your vision of, let's say, not out-of-body experiences, but which is related. But your third eye is is your projection, what you see, your visualization through the mind, where you would, let's say, almost like in a dream state, but you visualize your future. You visualize what you'd like to see come into pass through that third eye, and then those thoughts go out to the universe, and then it comes back in reality to where of something of substance, but it was all created out of the dark, then it comes into the light, and now you're able to deal with it. So it depends on the individual's type of mind that they have. Either you are thinking positive so you can receive positive, or if what you call negative, and you will receive that too. But the goal is to always have thoughts that are beneficial to you, that would keep you safe, upright, that would keep you knowledgeable, and that'll keep you in, let's say, in a good place, to where, because you deserve it, to where you're not putting yourself in a position of poverty, lack, and want by your thoughts. Some situations that can take places that's outside of our control, but we saying that the things that you can control make it good for you. I hope that makes sense. Now, I got to give a shout out to my boy Tay for sending me Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he was talking about ownership and insurance and investing, and he did a good job, man. That was excellent, and it was a good watch. And basically, he was saying, don't be owned, be the owner. Start saving, putting $5 a day away. Meaning, and let me break it down from my understanding of the whole video. He was basically saying, get out there and put work in your future. And get out there and put work into making your money, and making your money in a righteous way. He talked about the drug dealer, who is one of the smartest individuals on the planet. In America, I'm not talking about folks working 50 packs and you struggling to, back in the day, where you were struggling to move a quarter ounce or something like that, a half, or just even an ounce. Not that. We talking about drug dealers who saw an empire, and they use that as a means to create the empire, although it may be illegal and it causes destruction. But the knowledge you learn from moving in the game, because you have to deal with so many people, and then your mind has to be sharp. Certain things can go wrong, and you have to have the mindset to sit down and, okay, let's iron it out to where everybody's cool. And then to gain people's trust in their business, you have to be a certain type of individual. So saying that is to say that all that we went through in this country, we still had the desire to be not only physically free, but mentally free. And that's why I related to Tupac movie because Pac didn't want to be a slave to white people or black people. He wanted to exercise his gifts and his mind to be free, and then take that and share it with black people from what he discovered in life. Each one teach one, and let's pull each other up. But even though we got a negative gravity force that's on our ankles, pulling us back down, we're trying to pull us back down. It's the tug of war. You got those like Brother Farrakhan, who's going after the mind of the people. That's why in the movie, Tupac mom said, they after you because you're trying to free the mind of black people. That's when they come after you, and the Brother Farrakhan is a living example. I mean, they will put all kind of people to be an obstacle or a blockade against anyone who's trying to free the mind of the people. Why is it so important for black folks' mind to be free? It's important for black folks' mind to be free and to think free because of what you'll produce out of a free mind. Do you know what kind of... See, the reason why we know that majority of us, we don't have free minds is because if you look around us, what we produce wasn't produced out of a free mind. You can't be a people come out of slavery and you have a black community and you don't own over 60% of that community, then what that's saying is we still operating out of a slave mind. So you got more people saying, hey, here's a method that will free your mind. You know, sometimes you would get upset, but it's true. If you listen to music that's calling women bitches and hoes all day, then that's not putting your attention and focus on having or becoming a free-minded person. You dig what I'm saying? So you can't get mad, but then again the truth hurts. And get angry is a good reaction because that's saying it's sparking something in you. And yeah, you might get mad and cuss them out, you know, in public, but behind closed doors, you always have those who will say, yeah, let me work on this. You know, some of that was true. You know, your pride when it's in public will say, oh, damn, they trying to check you. But behind closed doors, you start working on it because you know it's true. And that's mathematics, and you needed that piece. You know, you needed that piece to represent a push forward. You know, I got to give a shout out to Christopher James, man. What's up? That boy doing this thing. And so, you know, you would have to sharpen your mind. That's why you will hear the statement or the comment, still sharpen steel. Because, let me give you an example. Everything that you see before you was once a thought in someone's mind, and then they brought it to reality. But since Europeans or Caucasians had centuries, had free minds in America while we were still enslaved and wasn't allowed to read or write, then they can view the world as a builder, owner mentality. And so since we were oppressed by that European Caucasian, because he rode the backs of black people who actually built America, as Dr. Boyce Walker stated, we built America, so we know how to build. Now we need the mind of ownership, or we need the free mind, because the whole world, whether you know it or not, is sitting back waiting to see, man, what will black people create if over 70% had free minds? What would the world look like? Will it go back to resemble what we did in Egypt before slavery and building the first university? Would we go back and build marvelous structures like what was done in Spain when the Moors ruled Spain? You know, all of the great mosques and marble floors and the I forgot the elegant name for it, but the waterfalls and the reflection lakes and pools and whatnot. What about those? You know, but I think we would do it. We would do it 2017 style with a free mind. Then what type of music would we make with a free mind? Would we say would we go back to the days of Isis and Nefertiti and display the beauty of the black woman, which was praised throughout the world, the ancient world? You know, would we stop saying that's my nigga, that's my dog, and would we say that's my we'll say what's up God or what's up righteous one? You know, would we say, oh man, damn, it's hot outside, man. Damn, son, why the sun so hot? You know, I wish it was cooler. Or would we say, oh yeah, son, heat that planet up so this vegetation can grow, purify the earth? I mean, how would we react? What would be some of the different sayings and some of the different things that we do operating out of a free mind? So, you know, symbolism. But two key symbolisms, whether you know it or not, is Uncle Remus, who had Uncle Remus syrup, but he was just a play of the Remus who discovered Rome, and Aunt Jemima, who was the daughter of Job in the Bible, and she was being used in America as the deity to give off that worldly motherly love, but really she represents the reminder of the mammy who would let white children suck on her breast, and who would nourish them and watch them. She was Aunt Jemima, the oldest daughter of Job. She was in Tom and Jerry. Remember the black woman in the cartoon Tom and Jerry? That was her. She represented that. She always been. Matter of fact, they probably brought her to America. They knew the biblical stories. King James, who Virginia, Jamestown in Virginia was named after, who translated the Bible. I believe it was 1611 AD. 1611 AD or 1619. It's early in the morning. But if you look at King James translating the Bible, he knew what role and who was who in the Bible and what they looked like. He gave, let's put it like this. King James knew a new world was getting ready to come in. King James was a mulatto. So King James, he had to write it in a way to where we could understand who we were. But when the whites caught on to it, then they wanted to flip it to where our mind couldn't figure out, or we lost the connection to who we were. Let me give you an example. Anybody in Texas and Louisiana, for sure, I know. I believe Mississippi, but I don't know how it's done today in Mississippi. But anybody in Texas and Louisiana know what purple hull peas are, because you had to peel them when you were younger, right? But today it's hard to find purple hull peas. So if I was to send a message out in a picture of purple hull peas, then somebody black would relate to that, and they would know that somebody black wrote that or put that picture out. You dig what I'm saying? And then the way that you would put the picture, you know, yeah, that's definitely somebody black, because blacks was the one that was picking them. It wasn't whites. So, but whites would see it. Now, they would try to counter and say, we did it too, and take the picture. But they wouldn't shape it and arrange it like we did, because we actually picked the purple hull peas. So, everybody will relate to, oh, okay, this is what it is. Then if a white person came along and took the picture, it still would be purple her pig, but you know, now it's not quite. You would be like, well, I don't know who took that picture. You dig what I'm saying? But I know who took this picture because I can relate to that one. But, you know, and that was just an analogy, just an example of how you can tell what's what. You dig? And so King James tried, by being a mulatto, he tried to curve it by giving you the image of Jesus. Jesus had hair's lamb wool, skin, feet as though if it was burnt in the oven, burnt brass. He trying to give you so you don't get lost along the way through this journey of the new rulers that's coming in town, who had the gun, who had the weapons, who had the aggression, and who had the mindset to conquer. See, I'm not blaming white people for anything. Because the reason being is because they acted out of their mindset, so they only being what they know how to be, and we wasn't in a position at the time to teach them otherwise. Although you had the Moors who educated them, but like Brother Farrakhan said, when Moses went up into the Caucasus Mountains, he only taught a third of white people. And then that third didn't go out and teach the rest of their brethren. So you had conflict there. Same thing. You got the Moors taught some, but didn't teach all. And then that some didn't go back and teach all of their brethren. Hell, you got white folks that are enslaved too. You got white folks that's deaf, dumb, and blind. Part of the 85%. So, you know, it is what it is. But what we're saying is this 2017, baby. You know, you got you got internet, you got all sorts of books that's dedicated to uplifting the mind and building your money up and getting your wealth in a way. That's why Tupac said, life as a rap star ain't nothing without God. As your guidance. So what, you a rap star and you got money? If you don't have an understanding of the universal creator of God, Jesus, Jehovah, whatever you want to call it, we choose Allah, Arabic, ancient name. But if you don't have that, then when the what they call it, the slithering, slinking, slithering temptations of the devil, when it comes at you, you don't have no defense because you're not rooted in nothing that's righteous. So he comes and offers you something on your level of dirt, because it's different levels of dirt. He offers you something on your level of dirt, which is a precursor to lead you into deeper dirt. So he offers it to you, and you like, you know, yeah, you know, I take it, I accept it. And then once you accept it, you didn't know it finna lead you downstairs. So it let you to downstairs. You want to get upstairs, back up to the light that you once knew, even though the light was dim. But you still want to get back to that dim light because there's hope that from that dim light you can get to some brighter light, right? Okay, so you want to get back to that dim light you had because he moved you down a little darker down the stairs. And so he offer you something. If you do this, it's a potential. You can go past the light you had to even further light. So you say, okay, well, yeah, because I don't like being here. He give it to you, you accept it. You start climbing and find out for every step you took forward, you took 2 steps backwards, and now you was even in more darker light. Because, and after all that, you still hadn't reached within to pull out the guard. So the devil's job is he gonna keep bringing you down, down, down till you hit rock bottom, until you snap. Oh man, the light is inside of me. I can turn it on inside of me and just walk on up the stairs and get on my mission. You know, but when you looking outside of yourself for something, then anybody can cover up bullshit and put a shine to it and give it to you. And then you run off with it thinking you won and get home and found out it was just some bullshit. You know what I mean? Because you didn't let the inner self lead. Because the inner self would have said, your inner self would have said, hey, what's this? Let me see. Well, open it up. Well, I can't open it up. Okay, well, why is it shining on this side, but it's not shining on that side? Oh, I didn't have time to shine it. Why didn't you have time to shine it? Why would you present me something and it's not together? Oh, well, you know, are you just trying to get over on me or something? Well, no, I'm not trying to get over on you. It's just I just didn't have time. So what you're saying is you didn't think enough about me to present me with something of substance that I could use. You gonna give me a half shine item. Matter of fact, open it up. Let me see what's on the inside of it. Because now from this point, I don't even trust it. Well, why don't you open it up? Okay, well, why you stepping backwards? You see what I'm saying? That inner guard gonna check it. But if you operating outside of yourself, then you ain't finna get nothing. You played yourself, or you got played. And that's how the game go. Verbal Pig Radio.